Looking back, it all kicked off that one sweltering evening at the annual gala for Riverside Prep, this ritzy private school tucked away in Chicago's North Side, where the elite send their kids to get polished up for Ivy League futures. My mom, Sarah, had been janitor there for years, scrubbing floors and emptying trash bins after hours, invisible to most folks except when they needed something fixed. I was 12 back then, tagging along to help her out, carrying buckets and wiping down tables while the crowd in their tuxes and gowns sipped champagne and patted each other on the back for giving back to the community. Yeah, right. As if throwing money at a school like Riverside actually helped kids like me from the South Side projects. Anyway, there we were, in the grand ballroom with its crystal chandeliers dangling like oversized earrings, and this guy Victor Hale struts up, big-time investor. Always in the papers for his philanthropic ventures, but really, he was the king of shady deals, snapping up cheap land in working-class neighborhoods to build luxury condos, displacing families who'd been there for generations. He had this smirk, cigar smoke curling around his face, and he spots Mom mopping a spill. "Hey you," he calls out, loud enough to turn heads. "If your little girl here can translate this Spanish document, it's a funding proposal for school expansions. I'll triple your salary on the spot." Bet she can't, though. Kids like her probably don't even know what a proposal is. The room hushes a bit, some chuckles ripple through, folks smirking like it's a sideshow, teachers, parents, board members, all waiting for the punchline. Mom freezes, her gloved hands tight on the mop handle, whispering to me, "Just ignore him, Lena," but I could see the humiliation in her eyes, the way she shrank a little, and something in me snapped. This wasn't just about us. Victor had been manipulating the local HOA for years, pushing through rezoning to grab land cheap, using education grants as cover to buy up blocks, evicting renters so he could flip properties for millions, all while pretending to be some savior. I straightened up, blood rushing to my face, and stepped forward. "Excuse me," grabbing that paper from his manicured hand. My heart was hammering, but I taught myself Spanish from library books and old telenovelas, dreaming of maybe becoming a lawyer someday to stick it to guys like him. I skimmed it quick, then read aloud, voice shaky at first but gaining steam. "This isn't about expanding schools for underserved kids. It's outlining tax breaks for your Hale Developments firm, routing public funds to demolish affordable housing and build high-rises on the same lots, with kickbacks to HOA members who vote your way." The room exploded into murmurs, gasps, whispers like, "Did she just say that?" And Victor's face went from smug to furious, veins popping in his neck. "You insolent little nobody," he snarled, stepping closer, his breath reeking of scotch. "You think you can read between the lines? People like you belong mopping, not meddling." Mom tried to pull me back. "Lena, please," but he lost it, flinging his champagne flute right at me. It clipped my shoulder, shattering on the floor, glass shards nicking my skin, blood trickling down my arm. I staggered, but didn't cry. Instead, I locked eyes with him, wiping the blood with my sleeve. "Apologize to my mom right now, in front of everyone, or I'll make sure this proposal hits the news, and tell me exactly how much you'll pay her, not some vague triple." The crowd shifted uncomfortably, some parents muttering, "That's too far," but a few nodded, like they'd seen his true colors before. Man, that moment it lit a fire in me that wouldn't go out. I couldn't sleep that night, replaying it all, feeling that mix of rage and fear bubbling up. Did guys like Victor get to play God with our lives? He'd been at it for years, I later learned, cozying up to the HOA board with donations, getting them to hike fees and foreclose on folks who couldn't pay. Also, he could swoop in and buy distressed properties dirt cheap. It wasn't random cruelty. It was calculated, driven by his obsession with turning Chicago's overlooked neighborhoods into his personal gold mine, erasing communities for profit. So, the next day, I skipped recess and hit the public library, pulling up city records on their clunky computers, grant applications, property deeds, HOA minutes. It was tedious, my eyes blurring from scrolling, but patterns emerged. Victor's foundation claimed millions for community education hubs, but the money looped back to his companies for consulting, while actual schools got zilch, and displaced families ended up in shelters. Mom noticed me zoning out at dinner. "What's eating you, baby?" And when I told her, she sighed. "Lena, he's powerful. Stirring this up could cost us. Our homie owns the building next to ours through some shell company. But I couldn't stop. It felt personal now, like if I backed down, I'd be letting him win not just against us, but against everyone he'd stepped on. That's when I found my first real ally, Alex Rivera, this scrappy reporter from the Chicago Tribune's local desk, who'd been sniffing around similar stories. I emailed him anonymously at first, attaching scans of the proposal and some deeds I'd photographed on my phone. "This could be big," he replied, "but I need more. Meet me." We linked up at a coffee shop near the L train, me fidgeting with my backpack, him with a notebook and kind eyes. "Kid, you're onto something. Victor's been dodging taxes by funneling through nonprofits, bribing HOA reps with board seats in his firms. He helped me dig deeper, teaching me how to cross-reference filings, and soon we had a dossier. Emails showing Victor pressuring HOA presidents to evict tenants over minor violations, all timed with his land bids. But the pushback ramped up first, subtle, like my school locker jammed with a note. Mind your own business, or your mom's job vanishes. Then, more overt. One night, walking home, a black SUV idled behind us, windows tinted, engine revving just enough to spook. Mom grabbed my hand tight, whispering, "Don't look back." But I knew it was Victor's doing, his way of protecting his empire, scared a kid might topple it. We didn't flinch. Instead, I ramped up, sneaking into the HOA meetings disguised in a hoodie, recording on my phone as they rubber-stamped Victor's proposals. Alex ran the first article, "Billionaire's Charity Masks Land Grab Scheme," and the floodgates opened. Angry emails from displaced families, tips from ex-employees spilling about forged documents. Victor fought dirty. Of course, his lawyers slapped Alex with a defamation threat. And at school, rumors spread I was troublemaking for attention, kids whispering as I passed. Mom got called into work. They're watching us closer now, but she stood by me, even when fear kept her up nights. The turning point came when we uncovered a smoking gun, a recorded call from Victor to an HOA chair. "Push through that eviction block, I'll cut you in on the condo profits. Those people don't belong here anyway." It was raw, his voice dripping with disdain, rooted in his old money arrogance, seeing us as obstacles to his vision of a revitalized city that priced out the very communities it claimed to help. The climax hit like a storm at the city council hearing downtown, packed with reporters, protesters chanting outside, Victor on the stand in his tailored suit, trying to play the victim. I testified first, palms sweaty but voice clear, laying out the timeline. He didn't just throw that glass at me because I translated his paper. He did it because I exposed how he's been stealing land, bribing officials, evicting families like mine to build towers no one in our neighborhood can afford. Victor leaned into the mic, face contorted. "This child's fabricating stories. Her mother's bitter about low wages, stirring up class warfare to extort me." But Alex followed with the evidence dump, projecting emails and deeds on the screen, the room gasping as the call played, Victor's own words damning him. He stammered, "That's taken out of context." But the council wasn't buying. Audits were ordered, his foundation dissolved, assets seized, and the HOA board members resigned in shame. Watching him escorted out, head down, muttering curses, felt electric, like we'd reclaimed not just land, but dignity. The community turned those lots into affordable housing and a park, with plaques honoring the fight. But here's where it gets complicated, you know? Sure, we won. Victor's empire crumbled. He faded into obscurity, facing lawsuits from all sides, but the scars linger. Some families got reparations, moved back, but others? They scattered, lives uprooted forever. And I wonder, was our victory Pyrrhic? The system's still rigged for the victors of the world. New investors are circling, HOAs reforming under different names. Did one kid's stand really shift the tide, or are we just delaying the inevitable? It changed me, though taught me silence costs more than speaking up, turned that scared girl into someone who mentors others now, helping them fight their own battles. What about you? Ever stood up to a bully with deep pockets, or seen your neighborhood change for the worse? Was it worth the risk, or do you think the little guy always loses in the end? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Love hearing your stories, and if this resonated, hit like, subscribe, and share. Let's keep the conversation going. Who knows, your voice might spark the next big change.